There's a story of an ancient king. The king was very wealthy and successful. He had money, he had power, he had fame, he had authority, he had influence, he had people working under him, many houses, many wives. But at the end of everything, after all the things he has strived for to make, he said everything was vanity, right? The money he made, the women he had, the fame he had worked for all his life, the power, the influence. He said everything was meaningless, was empty. By the way, it was King Solomon, right? So King Solomon, he was the wisest person in the Bible. He was the wisest, the most intelligent, and the most successful king during his time. And after all that he had, he came to the conclusion that life is meaningless if all we do is to go to work, to pay bills, to buy stuffs, to live for money and fame and power. He said these things are meaningless. And it is true. In the age that we live now, in this current world that we live now, in this modern world, people chase after these things. They chase after money. They chase after power and possessions. These things are meaninless. These things don't glorify God. These things are temporary, and we are not taking them to heaven with us. We came to the world empty and naked, right? And we are going to go back to heaven empty. There's no amount of money you're going to make that you will take back to you to heaven. You will leave everything behind. The money, the fame, the power, and everything you've been sacrificing your life for, you will leave them behind. It is good to have money. It is good to have money. It is good to have possessions. It is good to have fame, influence. But we shouldn't let them come first in our life. God should always come first. In everything that we do, God should come first. Before these things, we can't serve two masters. You can't serve God and serve money at the same time. When you serve God, when you put God first, when you prioritize God, money will come as a result of that. In God's system, in the system of God, or in the heaven system, we stay under the kingdom, right? And that means that, and what that means is God himself will supply to you as a participant in the kingdom, as a citizen of the kingdom. God has everything. He created the heavens and the earth and everything inside it. So he has the money to give to you. And most of the time, he just isn't giving it to you because you're mismanaging it, because you haven't built yourself to the level where he can trust you with more possessions, with more money. It says, seek first this kingdom of God, and every other things will be added to you. When we seek God first, when we put God first in our lives, money will be added. Money will be added. Fame will be added. Power will be added. Good relationship will be added. The things that we are seeking for and putting first and idolizing as a God and putting in exchange of God in our lives will be added if only we can put God himself first, right? So at the end of the book written by this King Solomon, he said, the conclusion of the whole matter is to fear God. And fearing God doesn't mean to be afraid. It means to acknowledge God. It means to put Him first. It means God come first in everything that you do. You see, I've been privileged to learn myself that whenever I don't put God first in the things that I do, even though I might achieve that thing, I don't really feel happy, right? It turns out to be, in most cases, the things that actually doesn't align with the purpose of God for my life. And at times, the things don't even come out as successful as it should have been if I had put God first, if I had invited God into it. So, imagine making these mistakes all your life, and you later find out that everything you've been working for don't even bring you fulfillment in life and still makes you feel empty. Imagine a king having money, being the most successful, in wisdom and power, and fame, and he had 300 wives and 700 concubines. That is a lot of women. I don't think anybody will ever have such enjoyment, to be honest. So he was very very successful. Let me put it that way. And he said it was vanity, it was empty. He still felt empty in his mind. So here's the solution. We should always put God first in everything that we do. God always comes first. And that is why wealthy and famous people still, take their lives after making all this money and possessions. They still feel empty, right? And despite all the money, they took their lives. So let us learn to put God first in everything that we do. And by doing that, God Himself will supply our needs, because He needs you and wants you to be successful in life. So as you do that, God will bless you. So that is it for today. I hope you've learned one or two things, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.